Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new full video on Dogecoin. We're going to do a full update right here. We'll talk a little bit more on, about the long-term potential of Dogecoin, but also what happened short-term. I mean, I haven't covered Dogecoin since that move on Monday, which was of course incredibly bearish. That pushed the entire markets down. And with Dogecoin, what that meant is a push down much lower. We knew it was a possibility if Dogecoin was unable to reclaim the yearly rolling VWAP right here at 27.5 cents that we would push down lower. This much lower, I did not expect. We have talked about it briefly, but I did not think it was most likely. And ultimately, I also don't think you can really see a move like we saw on Monday coming. There's obviously always reasons to be on risk alert, or at least on high risk alert. But I wasn't personally on Monday. But okay, so what has happened is that we dropped down below 25 cents. 25 cents was the main level that we broke out above. That's at this point of time, if you go back to the price action all the way until the 21st of July, that's the value area high, right? So that's the top of the range basically. And right now it's also supported. Well, first of all, it's a psychological level as well, 25 cents, but it's also supported by the 30-day rolling VWAP. And the point of control of the move on Monday, so the level where within that move most of the volume was spent. So we have quite a lot of confluences there. We've got a strong resistance level there, and that's also the main level that, you know, if we want to get bullish continuation again for Dogecoin, that's the level we have to break above. And honestly, I think it's a little bit too much to ask for that level to be broken again. It is a possibility, but the thing is you need quite a lot of market strength, right? At this point of time, I don't see any fundamentals that are not at least mostly priced in, right? So the ETF news we had, for example, over the course of last week going into this week, that's good news. But that was one of the reasons why we pumped and why we were able to remain relatively strong. So that's already, you know, largely priced in. And on the higher time frames, I could make the argument that we have just tapped into the point of control of the previous range and that now we're able to rally up higher. That is a possibility, but is it most likely when Bitcoin is struggling to rally up higher? And is it most likely when the general financial markets are pulling back? I would argue no, all right? So therefore, I would be, look, there's different things that can happen with Dogecoin right now. We either reclaim back into the range, which will most likely be that we will spike up to the 30-day rolling VWAP. We'll get a strong reaction, and then we're going to drop down into this level right here at 22 cents, which is where we still have a fair value gap and the previous month POC, point of control. So there's a lot of liquidity there, which normally is like if you add that with a fair value gap, there's a bit of a magnet to that level, just so you know. And then the other scenario is we rally up to 25 cents and we're able to break above that, followed by a move into 27.5 cents. And then we can start talking about 30, 32 cents as well. But you have to think for yourself as well, if those are the two scenarios, which one do I think is most likely? And honestly, given the general market circumstances at this point of time, and also the lack of momentum for Dogecoin, like Dogecoin on its own, we've had very high volume with the move down on Monday, but since then it's been relatively slow and relatively weak. I would say it's better to expect that, yes, we're going to get that move into 25 cents, but unless anything changes, so unless the fundamentals become better, or unless we get some strong momentum for Bitcoin, I'd say it's most likely we're going to remain stable right here. And that from that stability, we're going to get a move into 22 cents at least. And from there, we'll see again. That's a very strong support level. So if we get a lot of momentum from there, maybe that's enough to actually break above 25 cents. But I would say, you know, stability and a bit of a push lower is the more likely scenario right here for Dogecoin, while I'm also being ready for that reclaim of 25 cents in the case of some market-wide momentum. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know about Dogecoin for now. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.